Welcome, everyone. Let's give a heartier round of applause. It's the World Food Forum Week. A round of applause. Welcome, everybody. That's nice and warm. Hello, everybody. Buongiorno, habariako from wherever you are. And welcome once again to the 2025 World Food Forum. A round of applause. Great. My name is Amanda Namai. I'm from Kenya, and I'm a zero hunger advocate. It is amazing to see so many young leaders here, full of energy, full of creativity and determination to shape a better and more sustainable food future.
Amazing, Amanda. Hello, everyone. My name is Rizka Afif. I'm coming from Indonesia. I'm a young forester. Whether you are here with us in Rome or turning in virtually from all around the world, thank you for being part of this truly global gathering. This year is especially meaningful. Not only we are celebrating 5 years of the World Food Forum, but also the 80th anniversary of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO.
Indeed, it is wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Luis Mabulo. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm a United Nations Young Champion of the Earth. And it's incredible to think that in just 5 years, what began as a small, youth-led initiative has grown into a global movement, reaching billions of people around the world. What makes the World Food Forum powerful? It isn't just its scale. It's that young people are not waiting for permission. We are setting the agenda, we're shaping solutions, and leading the way forward.
And I'm Oscar Lopez from the United States, where I served as the 13th US Youth Observer to the United Nations. You're right, Louise. This forum isn't just a yearly event. It's a movement, one that continues long after these sessions end, through youth-led projects, national youth chapters, innovation labs, and community action worldwide.
You're absolutely right, Oscar. And at its core, this forum is about inclusion, making sure every voice, every idea, and every perspective is heard. So, to kick things off, we would like to hear from each and every one of you. So, indulge me and please take out your phones and join our first Mentimeter word cloud. So scan the QR code on the screen and tell us in one word, just one word. So there's a screen near you, scan it. What are your expectations for this week? So there's a screen near you, the QR code is on the side. What are your expectations for this week? I would like to see the energy and inspiration you're bringing to the forum.
Yeah.
Ritska, what word comes to you?
All right. I see many things here like learning, knowledge, connection. Wow, a lot, right?
Exactly.
And what your favorite words here?
My favorite is solidarity.
Nice. Energy as well, right? And there's solidarity as well that you said beforehand. Youth empowerment, partnership, and even investment fund as well there. Keep them coming, right? So everyone, please fill out here, and that's amazing, right?
Right, absolutely.
Everything's coming in. Oh my goodness. To be surprised, power, connection.
That's super. I mean, what a powerful way to start the week. This forum is all about listening, sharing, and creating solutions together. The Global Youth Action Initiative was created to empower youth to lead agri-food systems transformation. Real change happens when young people drive transformation in their own communities. That's why we launched the World Food Forum National Youth Chapter. Amazing. The World Food Forum National Youth Chapter, giving youth a platform to act in their context. And today, we're proud to say we've reached 62 chapters across the world. Amazing! That's super interesting. So, chapter leaders, raise your flag and show us your energy.
Yes,
Where
we're our
is-
chapter
okay.
leaders.
Countries are
Where
in the
are you? I
room.
couldn't see your.
Wave your flag.
Amazing.
Oh, there I see some flags across
All right.
the room.
Only
wow.
two. Okay. Indonesia is there. Is
Come
there
on.
any-
Oh, I see
anyone?
more across the room.
All
Come
right.
on.
Hello.
I see hands waving.
Where's
Show us where
Kenya?
you are.
Great.
All right. Wow. I love to see this energy across the room. It's just incredible. And that is exactly what the youth bring. We bring ideas, we bring passion and action. Now, to get us started, it is my pleasure to welcome the Director General of FAO, Dr. Chu Dongyu, for the opening remarks. Director General, the floor is yours.
I have to be younger. Dear young colleagues and friends, dear leaders of today and tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, salam alaikum. 早上好. Welcome to the opening ceremony 2025 World Food Forum Global Youth Forum. This is a historic year. FAO turns 8 years. On October 16, World Food Day, we will celebrate FAO 80th birthday. We have a birthday first in 1979, recommended by the that time Minister of Hungary. He was a famous scientist, establishing World Food Day. It was endorsed by the UN resolution in 1981. So we are going to celebrate the 44 chapters of the World Food Day. But FAO is 80 years, and the UN family. For 80 years, FAO has been working for a world free from hunger and malnutrition. This is our mandate. Simply for young people, you don't understand agriculture so professionally, I give it very simple. What is agriculture and food, or FAO? We are working for food, feed, fibers, like cotton crops or flax, all the fiber crops, and a fuel, a biofuel, especially biomass. Biogas, biomass, it's a fuel. And the fashion. Yeah, fashion show all these clothes and the lazy, expensive one is come from agriculture. Or fun. Yeah, we need a tourism integrated with agrifood system and ecosystem and have a fun, the natural fun. So it's you can say 5F or 6F. During this year's World Food Day, we will also open the doors to the new FAO Food Agricultural Museum and Network. And I just opened the speech to the indigenous community here. It's an inter part of the World Food Forum. Every year, the indigenous community come to FAO headquarters to show their symbolic tents. FAO should be home of indigenous community because all the farmers, all the human beings, original from indigenous community. Don't forget your ancestor. When you forget your ancestor, you didn't know where you come from. And you will be forgotten by your grandchildren. Because they were learning from you, forgot their ancestors. That's a recycling. Well, you will be able to see for yourself how art and culture are the universal language of food, and it will inspire you to take the actions to work with us in fulfill our mandate. Food is our identity, food is our community, food is our creativity, food is our culture. Dear young friends, today is about looking forward to the future that the youth are already shaping. Not only guest, you are master of the future. We open this World Food Forum Week with you, our change makers, because the Global Youth Forum is the living expression of the FAO's founding dream of the world where no one is hunger. This forum is the engine, turn idea into action. So help us to switch on this motor and move full speed ahead. We need your energy and your speed to transform global agrifood systems to be more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable. The better food, secure future depends on all of us working better together, cross generations and cross borders. No one understands this better than the youth, and no one can make it happening better than the youth, because you are representative of the future. The transformation is not built on the ceremonies or speech. This is old-fashioned. We need to modernize it. We need to build on your fresh energy and courage for real action. During the past 6 years, even this room, we saw 3 times of transformation. First, we fixed the security. When I elected the 23rd of June 2019, I gave the speech, Thanksgiving speech. I saw the hanging in the nights. I was worried if someday the falling down, it's create a disaster and the international headlines. So I really appreciate the host country helped me to fix the security first during the pandemic, and now become the masterpiece of art linked with Rome. That's why someone you took the subway. Now we connected also this piece with the Secolo Maxima subway. And it's a part of imagination linked with the coming FAO Museum and Network. We are going to unveil with the Honorable President of Mattarella of Italy. So action lead change, not talking. Sometimes we need to talk, of course, to get a consensus, to work coherently. But after talk, immediately 90% of the time should be action. We need to be cool together. I know you like cool. Yeah? I never wear the jacket. From the minus 40 to plus 40, yeah? Rakesh knows me. I keep myself all the cool. I'm not as cool as you are, but I pretend to be cool all year round. Thank you. So this week, I invite you to connect with each other in the meeting room, in the coffee shop, not a coffee shop. We don't have a coffee shop anymore. We have a coffee corner. It was a policy bar, only hosts about 20 people or 40 people maximum. Now we can host you 4,000 if you like. Just finished last night by Italian hard-working laborers. Now you can take coffee, go to the corner, and then move to the front garden. So that is a place, friendly, green place for you to enjoy coffee, enjoy tea, enjoy chatting. I'm so happy because your first group used the FAO security room this morning. Many years later, when you tell your kids or your grandkids, then maybe they can get it as a grant, but they didn't know what looks like. Yeah? So we need each generation. We have our own mission, we have our own mandate, and we have our own promise and commitment to change. I expect you make friends in FAO, make your global friends, networks. When you are young, you have full of energy, you can convince each other, you can be friendly each other, at least you can tolerate to each other. That's real global solidarity. And then you can also share all your feeling, your understanding, your funding, your discovery by social media, no matter TikTok or others, instinct or so many others, or X, or Y, or Z. I'm a scientist, so X is good, but also we have Y and Z, yeah? 3 dimensions. Connect your voice, your ideas, your innovations, and above all, connect with FO4 betters and our mandate. This first is the better production, connect with discuss how you can push for farmers and food producers to produce smarter. The second one is the better nutrition, connected to discuss how we can better feed the world and ensure that everyone has access to the health stats. Third one is a better environment. How can you fight even harder for a better planet so that it can feed all of us while still protect the nature and our ecosystem? And the fourth is a better life, in my opinion, is most important. Why are we living here, this planet? We need a better life, no matter you're poor or rich, or you're young, you're old, or young at heart. What can you do individually and together to make sure that all people in this world can live in a life with dignity, with opportunity, with justice, and above all, where we don't leave any person or community behind? These are the 4 betters. They are not the abstract questions. They are the design of how we want to move forward. They are our picture of the better future. Any community, any organization, any country, big or small, even any family, you need the 4 betters to guide your life and the way of life. That's a philosophy thinking. Dear friends, when I look at your generation, I see one that refuses to accept limits. No limits, no ceiling. Especially now there's so many tools. AI, fashionable words, digital world, all the AI and the BI, AI and IT and the BT. You are not waiting to inherit the future from us, so-called old people, not age old. In my opinion, it's mentally old, conservative. If you are too much conservative, you create your own generation gaps from the young generation. I always try to minimize the gap between me and you. I always said here so many times, I'm like leaves in the winter or in the autumn. Now it's from the green to the yellow. My age is fading yellow into yellow color. But I try to master myself to be as green as possible. There are Chinese proverb a joke about say, if you are old cucumber, become a yellow, but you can paint it with a green paintings and pretend to be young, but young not surfacely and young at heart. You are the standing up to the colleagues, you are creating startups, you are opening national youth chapters, you are the leaders, not necessary to become administrative leaders. You are leading the way of change of the world in the future. You are raising your voice in the global debate, and you are showing the world that the youth are not to be undervalued in global decision making. So I invite you not just to participate, but to lead. Speak boldly, listening generously, challenge each other, and lift each other up. This Global Youth Forum is not a stage. It is a springboard for the global action. What begins here in Rome must continue in your community, your school, your field, your kitchens, your cities, with your friends and your family. As FO turned 8, we are celebrating history, and we are handing you the pen to write a new chapter. A chapter that is better together. It's not a slogan, but a way of working, a way of living, a way of transforming our agrifood system, of changing the world to make it a better place for all. You are the movement. By being better together, we can deliver better food and better future for all. And I'm so delighted that EXOC President ambassador from Nepal. He make your time traveling from New York to join you, not because of me, not because of FAO, because of you. You are future. He want to make friends with the future. That's the hope of UN. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Director General, for your powerful words and your steadfast support for youth everywhere. Can we have another round of applause for the Director General? Now, this year isn't just special because it's the FAO's 80th anniversary, it's also the 5th year of the World Food Forum. Let's now take a moment to look back at all we've achieved together over these past 5 years. I'm honored to welcome Mr. Kazuki Kitaoka, Director of the FAO Office of Youth and Women, to walk us through the story of the Global Youth Initiative. Kazuki, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Oscar, Director General, Excellencies, young leaders, ladies and gentlemen, and also young at heart. Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here today and to see so many of you in this room, and it is a clear statement to the importance of meaningful youth engagement, empowerment, and agency in the transformation of our agri-food systems. And what I will run through now is just a very short summary of the achievements of the Global Youth Action Initiative since its establishment in 2021, 5 years ago. We set out on a journey to bring young people together, to elevate their voices, and to unite them in shaping a better future for our agri-food systems. What began as a youth-led initiative has grown into something far greater. Today, the World Food Forum Youth Initiative has become a global movement, truly. In just 5 years, more than 500 youth-led innovation projects have been supported, bold ideas that have become real solutions, improving lives and transforming communities. And this year, the momentum has only accelerated with nearly 30,000 young leaders actively engaged in the youth initiative activities worldwide. Through global consultations, over 16,000 young people from more than 180 countries have made their voices heard, bringing fresh perspectives directly into the international policy spaces. Learning has been here at the heart of this movement. Some 10,000 youth have taken part in training and mentorship programs this year alone, gaining the skills needed to tackle the most pressing challenges of our time. And over 2,500 educators are now connected worldwide in a global network, guiding and inspiring the next generation of leaders. But transformation is, of course, not only global, it is happening on the ground. With 126 youth focal points in FAO country offices, 62 national youth chapters established, and more than 330 chapter leaders mobilizing across the regions, tens of thousands of youth that are already driving change in their communities, locally, nationally, and globally. Culture has also been at the heart of this movement. Thousands of dishes created by young chefs have reimagined sustainable gastronomy, and filmmakers from 65 countries have shared powerful stories through the World Food Forum Film Festival, proving how creativity and innovation can inspire real change. And the world is listening. Across our platforms, more than 120,000 young people are now part of this growing network, and millions of accounts have been reached, connecting ideas, amplifying voices, and creating a ripple effect of action. 5 years, thousands of change makers, and a movement that has just started. This is the World Food Forum Global Youth Action Initiative. And together, hand in hand, across generations, the future is truly in our hands. Thank you very much. And over back to the moderators.
Another round of applause for Kazuki. Wonderful. Kazuki, thank you for those inspiring words. And as you've seen, so much has been accomplished in just 5 years. And that video is only a small taste of what we are capable of when we collaborate and transform ideas into action. It is now time to bring our first intergenerational roundtable, which will focus on crucial theme, youth in agri-food policy and governance. This is the first of 3 interactive panels where we want to hear directly from you. So once again, I'd like you to indulge me. So please take out your phones once more. Let's not get tired, it's a youth forum. And I'd like you to scan the QR code. There's screens in front of you, there's screens on the side. Let's take out our phones, and I would like you to answer this question. What do you think are the top 3 agri-food policy priorities where youth leadership and empowerment can make the greatest impact? Once again, what do you think are the top 3 agri-food priorities, policy priorities, where youth leadership and empowerment can make the greatest impact? So we are about to hear from the young people, and as your answers are coming in, I am pleased to invite to the stage Miss Nicoletta Merlot. A round of applause for her. Ms. Nicoletta is a member of the European Economic and Social Committee, EESC, and she is the designated president of the EESC's Future and Permanent Group on Youth Involvement. The EESC, as the EU institution representing civil society, has been pioneering new ways to integrate youth voices in policy making. It was the first EU institution. Nicoletta, please have a seat on the extreme. Let's welcome her as she takes her seat. You look lovely, absolutely pink. And I'll tell you more about the EESC. It was the first EU institution to adopt the EU Youth Test. It's a tool designed to strengthen youth participation and mainstream youth perspectives in policy decisions. Building on this, the EESC established a permanent group on youth involvement to ensure that the voices of young Europeans are systematically reflected in its work and in EU decision-making. Joining Nicoletta for this roundtable are, I would like to start with His Excellency Lok Bahadur Tapa, the president of the 2025-2026 session of ECOSOC. A round of applause for him. Welcome on stage. Welcome so much.
No, it's a great honor.
He will be joined by Alberta Nana Akosa from the World Food Forum Ghana Youth Chapter. A round of applause for Nana. Just go right next. All right, next up we have Rand Alkushan from the World Food Forum Youth Policy Board. A round of applause for Rand. Everyone is looking so amazing. And after Rand, we have one more panelist. All right, great. Could we appreciate the panel? One more time. And we also have Natasha Holscher, the Dutch UN Youth Representative for Biodiversity and Food. All right, Nicoletta, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. And first of all, let me thank the World Food Forum for the kind invitation and for asking me to moderate this really important session. I'm particularly happy to be here today because at the EEC, the meaningful engagement of young people is at the heart of our work. Not only we established the youth test and this youth permanent structure as was already presented, but in the NUT section, which is the section who deals with agriculture, rural development, and environment, we have also taken concrete steps to strengthen youth participation in the leadership of the EEC. In fact, we decided, for example, to appoint a youth delegate to the COP with a 2-year mandate, who will part of the EEC delegation, and in this way, we give to this person the opportunity to mainstream the youth perspective in such an important event. We organize twice a year the Climate and Sustainability Roundtable, where several youth organizations have the opportunity to discuss directly with the commissioner on climate issues. And we also adopted a research on the meaningful youth participation in decision-making processes. So all these are steps, in my opinion, in the right direction, and demonstrate that youth participation and intergenerational dialogue are not just slogans for us, but are their daily practice. I'm really happy and honored to have these panelists, so thank you so much once again for accepting the World Food Forum invitation and to take part in this interesting debate. The first question is for His Excellency Lok Bahadur Thapa. You have emphasized the importance of youth engagement and sustainable food system, but from your perspective, how can global institutions like ECOSOC strengthen the voice and the leadership of young people in shaping agri-food and climate policies worldwide?
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm a moderator and then so happy actually to be here and then to be with the young populations. So many people, so many young delegates are here. I also feel very young today to be amongst you. And regarding these, your particular questions about this, how the ECOSOC or United Nations and then especially the ECOSOC can bring more the voices of the young, especially in the agri-food system. You know that, firstly, I would like to highlight that during my presidency this year, and then I have prioritized 4 areas. One is agri-food system transformations and addressing the food insecurity, which is very vital for us all. Secondly, I have been given the importance again for the digital inclusions and the youth entrepreneurship. Third is about the climate and resilience, more particularly about the glacial lake outburst. Because of that, we are facing a lot of problems, especially in the mountain area. And then because of that, again, we are facing the huge water shortage now, floods and others, and then later on we will have the huge problems of the water shortage in the downstreams. And the fourth one is financing for development will be another major areas. If you see that from all these 4 priorities, and then we have been given the importance for the youth participation. As you know that the ECOSOC has been really giving the more importance for the participations of the youth in the whole the UN processes and then forums, especially under the ECOSOC. And then we have been highlighting the importance of bringing youths with the voice with the representation, with the participation, with the engagement in the whole range of areas and the issues within the ECOSOC. That is the one. Secondly, again, so we are trying to highlight all these issues about the agri-food systems, about the digital inclusions, about the financing for technology, financing for the finance for development and finance, and also about all the technology on the climate, resilience, all those issues. So for these years, you can see that we have a lot of the forums within the ECOSOC, like the Youth Forum, we have that, and then we have the STI forums, we have the partnership coordinations. All the forums, we are trying to spotlight the importance of the youth participation in all those areas. And similarly, I'm trying, as a ECOSOC president, I'm trying to organize the special events on the youth, especially the youth inclusions and youth entrepreneurship in the digital sector. Secondly, agri-food systems, again in the climate system. So I think from all these areas, and thus we would like to bring more youth voice in the ECOSOC. And then similarly, we are also having the very good the engagement with the major groups of the youth and children, women, and then similarly the young women's will also be connected through the different segments of the ECOSOC. So throughout my presidency and then under the ECOSOC, but let me also highlight that this is not the on-off, and then this is not the out of blue, because ECOSOC is there always to support and to bring the more voices from the young, and then from youth, and then from the women, from children, from various groups, because ECOSOC is the one who connect to the people directly. And so we'll try to bring more voices in the ECOSOC, and then this year's we'll giving more importance to this voice. Thank you so much again. I'm so happy and to be delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your valuable insight. Thank you.
We have a special surprise, an addition to the panel. It's Nicolas Canosa, and he's the Director of Extra-Regional Cooperation and the International Youth Organization for Ibero-America. Over to you.
So, Nicolas, as you already just arrived, the second question is for you. Nicolas, your organization has long worked to promote youth participation in policy making. So what lessons from the Ibero-American region could inspire strong youth engagement in agri-food governance globally?
Bueno, muy buenos días a todos y todas. En primer lugar, quiero acercar el saludo del secretario general Alexandre Pupo, del Organismo Internacional de Juventud para Iberoamérica, que es un organismo que tiene 3 décadas de trayectoria. Es el único organismo internacional dedicado exclusivamente a juventudes de manera intergubernamental, compuesto por 21 estados. Para responder tu pregunta, primero quisiera hacer una breve caracterización del contexto geopolítico en el que estamos, partiendo del punto de partida que tenemos que ir de la realidad al ideal y caracterizar que estamos en un momento de una crisis del multilateralismo muy grave. Una crisis del multilateralismo que encuentra dificultades para resolver problemas tan acuciantes y graves como el hambre y la desigualdad, que son 2 caras de una misma moneda. Un multilateralismo que no tiene la posibilidad de dar respuestas para evitar conflictos y guerras e incluso frenar o impedir que se desarrollen genocidios como el que ocurre en Gaza, Palestina, contra el pueblo palestino. Y también permitan... Gracias por el aplauso y también creo que debemos afirmar nuestro compromiso por la paz en ese pueblo tan querido. Ahora sí les quiero compartir una cita del Papa Francisco que lamentablemente guarda vigencia. Él decía, todavía estamos lejos de una globalización de los derechos humanos más básicos. Por eso la política mundial no puede dejar de colocar entre sus objetivos principales e imperiosos el de acabar eficazmente con el hambre. Porque cuando la especulación financiera condiciona el precio de los alimentos, tratándolos como a cualquier mercancía, millones de personas sufren y mueren de hambre. Por otra parte, se desechan toneladas de alimentos. Esto constituye un verdadero escándalo. El hambre es criminal. La alimentación es un derecho inalienable. Esto decía el Papa Francisco. El hambre y la inseguridad alimentaria vienen creciendo y tienen niveles más malos que desde 2015. Según el último informe de la FAO, alrededor de 2.300 millones de personas sufren inseguridad alimentaria grave o moderada. Repito, 2.300 millones de personas. Y alrededor de 700 millones de personas padecen hambre. Creo que esto que decía antes de que el hambre y la desigualdad son dos caras de una misma moneda, se refleja también que según Oxfam, 5 personas que son las más ricas de la humanidad duplicaron sus fortunas en los últimos 5 años, mientras que 5.000 millones de personas han decrecido en sus ingresos. Por eso nosotros estamos acá convencidos de que hay que apostar a los ámbitos multilaterales, pero también que hay que transformarlos con audacia para enfrentar esos poderes globales que impiden, por ejemplo, cumplir los objetivos del desarrollo sostenible que hoy parecen muy lejos de poder acercarnos a esas metas, por supuesto, necesarias. Y en nuestra región, Iberoamérica y particularmente en Latinoamérica, además de toda esta situación, que es la región más desigual del mundo, también nos vemos con las democracias condicionadas por la injerencia en los asuntos internos, no solo de países, sino también de organismos internacionales y corporaciones, así como por la cooptación de los poderes judiciales por intereses minoritarios y también por crisis severas de deuda externa. A todo esto se añade la profunda crisis en los sectores trabajadores y humildes, que como estas cifras mencionamos, se empeoran en estas regiones del mundo porque el padecimiento del hambre y la inseguridad alimentaria es más grave en las regiones del sur global. Para nosotros, desde el OIJ, el alimento es un derecho y la producción agroindustrial cumple una función esencial. Y creemos que en esta situación los jóvenes de los sectores rurales tienen que tener participación, voz y también ser parte de la formulación de políticas para afrontar estos desafíos. Nosotros creemos que tiene que ser con trabajo digno, bien pago, fomentando el arraigo, también respetando los saberes locales de las comunidades, construyendo diálogo intergeneracional entre las generaciones y promoviendo la innovación tecnológica y también el cuidado de la casa común, es decir, producir con sostenibilidad. Y para eso ponemos a disposición nuestro organismo para colaborar con la FAO y con todas las instituciones aquí presentes que tengan la voluntad y el compromiso de acabar con el hambre y construir las políticas necesarias para ello. Por último, déjenme hacer una cita. El director general hoy habló de valentía y nosotros que creemos que para afrontar este gran desafío y el compromiso colectivo que tiene que haber para acabar con el hambre, se necesita valentía. Pero una valentía que no es como la que declaró hace unos días, previo a la reunión del Banco Mundial y el Fondo Monetario Internacional, que la directora Kristalina Georgieva resaltó ejemplos de valentía, diciendo que hubo líderes valientes haciendo cosas difíciles, reduciendo los salarios y pensiones en un 40 o 50%. Eso no es valentía, ni la solución son las recetas de ajuste y austeridad. Valentía es, por ejemplo, lo que hizo Lula da Silva en Brasil, que volvió a sacar del mapa del hambre a su país, como ya lo hizo en otro momento, y lo volvió a hacer ahora en este ejercicio de gobierno, y hoy nos honra con su presencia por la tarde. Valentía es, por ejemplo, lo que hizo también el gobierno de Brasil, de quitar el impuesto a la renta y beneficiando a 16 millones de trabajadores, porque para acabar con el hambre y la desigualdad necesitamos que los trabajadores tengan mejores ingresos, porque no es una crisis alimentaria de escasez, sino de falta de accesibilidad y de buenos ingresos para poder acceder a los alimentos. Por eso, este es un verdadero ejemplo de valentía y lo quería plantear al final porque quería terminar con un mensaje de esperanza, porque esto muestra que se puede hacer con coraje, con valentía y con decisión política, con ejercicio del poder a favor de una redistribución justa del ingreso y con políticas para fomentar la agroindustria y la industrialización de la ruralidad y fomentar el arraigo de los jóvenes y de los pueblos en sus propias comunidades. Asumamos esta lucha por el bien común, acá a disposición desde el Organismo Internacional de Juventud para Iberoamérica y este servidor para construir las alianzas y las acciones necesarias para que los discursos no sean solamente palabras, sino que, como dice el lema de este organismo, se conviertan en las ideas en acciones y construyamos las sinergias y alianzas necesarias para transformar la realidad. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Canosa, for sharing these inspiring lessons and experience, and thank you for giving this message of hope. I guess we all need it. Thank you so much. Now, moving to Mrs. Alberta Nanaicha Acosa. Alberta, you have successfully mobilized young people, women, and rural farmers in Ghana through community-based initiatives. So also based on the Mentimeter question, I would like to ask you, what are the 3 agri-food policy priorities where youth leadership and empowerment can make the great impact, and why?
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to the World Food Forum. I'm from Ghana, and I'm with the World Food Forum Ghana chapter. Every day we are working with a lot of farmers and women, farmers with disabilities who I call capabilities. And 3 things always stand out. And that is how I always describe the agri-food system: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, what is the good? The good is that we have abundant youth, vibrant youth who are determined, who are willing to contribute to the transformation of the food systems, to contribute to innovative approaches, policy direction, and governance. And in the World Food Forum Ghana chapter, we have a lot of these numbers, over 300 youth who are driven, who are taking charge and taking the lead. And then we have the bad. The bad is that we have a lot of aging farmers within the communities who have all the knowledge, who are inspiring, but are not able to contribute meaningfully to policy direction. And then we have the ugly. The ugly part is that these youth who are determined to contribute to policy direction and governance are also very limited in terms of mentorship, coaching, training, capacity building that will support them to scale up and expand and contribute meaningfully to the food system. So, but in Ghana, and that is where World Food Forum steps in. World Food Forum has been doing amazingly well, taking the charge and leading us to further empower them. And so in Ghana, we focus largely on 3 main areas, 3 main thematic areas, which is women empowerment, nutrition, and livestock. And I think we collectively do agree that when we empower a woman, you empower a nation. And you also agree with me that women are the seed, the soul, and the heart of the food systems. Do we all agree? Thank you. And that is why at the World Food Forum Ghana chapter, our focus has really largely been in that area. In July, we organized one of the major Women in Agri-Food System Forum, bringing young women, beginner agribusinesses, startups together, over 150 of them. And we had a panel discussion like this where 7 of them took the center stage. And what we realized was inspiring. They only needed a platform and a voice to be heard, which is something that is hindering the progress of women advancing. So I think that within the food system, the youth can contribute meaningfully in all circles. It's just about how we can connect the unconnected, how we can identify the gaps, and then we can identify the solutions that are meaningful and can contribute effectively. And that's what we are doing at the World Food Forum in Ghana. Also, we focus largely on nutrition. I remember in the first quarter, we had one of our major events for women farmers and marketers. In one of the biggest markets in the country. You know, right from the chain, from the food coming from the farm to the market, women are playing a key role in terms of nutrition and food security, safety, and all that. And sometimes our markets are, honestly, the environment are not very healthy. And so we mobilize the youth within the World Food Forum chapter to lead advocacy on how food safety and nutrition can better us, as our thematic focus for the forum indicates. Better food and better world for everyone. And so that's one thing we've been. Also, in the area of livestock, we are able to do a lot through partnership approaches. And that's how we are growing, that's how we are expanding, and that's how we are able to increase our value within increase our value in shaping the conversation when it comes to the food system. So we do a lot of partnership approaches, and then in July again this year, we had one of the key major partnerships with the Ghana Poultry Day project, where we led training, we facilitated some of the key capacity building sessions, and the interesting thing of all is that we were able to support over 50 of the youth with starter packs, day-old chicks, to be able to start their own poultry farms within their communities or their schools. And this is very inspiring and empowering, because I think that for us to be able to shape the conversation when it comes to the food system, for us to be able to contribute meaningfully, for us to be able to connect the unconnected, we need to take action. And that is one key thing that we are doing at the World Food Forum Ghana chapter. Without taking action, we cannot have a voice. And it's very important that we walk the talk whilst we try to shape the conversation when it comes to the food system. We collectively agree that by 2050, we have about over 10 billion people to feed. And the youth are at the center of this. And we believe that all the areas are very key, but in Ghana, these are the areas that we are focusing on. I believe that, like I said, we are the seed, we are the soul, and we are the heart of the food system. And the only way we can drive this is to take meaningful, critical, and step-by-step actions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alberta, for sharing your thoughts, but also for highlighting the importance of the gender dimension. We need more women in agri-food sector, but we also have to give to them more space and more power. So thank you so much for this. The first question is for Mrs. Rand Al-Kushman. Rand, you have worked across the Near East and North Africa to empower youth and women in climate-resilient agriculture. So, as we often discuss about the difficulties, but not about the solutions, what are the solutions young people are working on in influencing agri-food policy in your region?
Thank you so much for your question. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone here, joining us here, and for those who's following online, or as we say in Jordan, Allah يصبحكم بالخير. Actually, I'm speaking here today as representing and glad to represent the Youth Policy Board with the World Food Forum. And I'm not only speaking as a climate change or climate activist and agriculture engineer. I'm speaking as a young Jordanian woman who's coming from Jordan and representing the NENA region, Near East and North Africa, the region that is most impacted by climate change and food insecurity. In the Global Youth Action Plan, just to give you a bit of context, for the NENA region, our policy priority is to improve life and work conditions for rural people, particularly social minorities, in agri-food system by promoting environmentally and social-friendly practice in agriculture. So as you can see here, youth are already innovating from regenerative agriculture to smart water management. But without policies like the policies that recognize climate justice, these solutions will remain fragmented and will remain the same. When we say climate justice, we mean ensuring that rural farmer women and youth, especially in the climate vulnerable regions, are at the decision-maker table. Too often, actually, policies are designed about young people, unfortunately, not with them. We need more youth councils, advisory boards, and participatory policy processes to be more than like a symbolic or something normal. They should have real they should have a real influence and to influence especially budget, priorities, and the mentoring that we are working on. Also, I believe that intergenerational collaboration is not about replacing older voices, of course we need them, but about complementing them with the creativity and the live experience from us as a youth. Of course, it's worth to mention that we must invest in farmers, especially women and youth, across all the regions, especially in the NENA region, for them to access land, to access finance, and to access all of the training and the capacity building training that they need. The choice we make today, of course, define whether we build a food system. This food system must be sustainable, just, and inclusive. I'm sure and I do believe that youth are not only the future, or we as a youth, not only the future, we are already shaping solutions on the ground, and that actually the most important work that we are doing on the Youth Policy Board in general, especially in the Global Youth Action Plan, where there is a set of priorities, actionable items that we are really working on implementing them. So let's embed climate justice, gender equality, and meaningful youth participation in the core in agri-food governance. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rand. I guess that all of us support your proposal and share the concrete suggestion that you decided to share with us today. Now, finally, the final question is for Mrs. Natasha Olscher. Natasha, you represent youth voices in biodiversity and food discussion at the UN. So what have you learned about how to bridge the gap between young people's ideas and actual policy decisions? Because as was mentioned before, the majority of the time, the decisions are made for youth, but not with them. And we need more co-creation. So what do you think about that?
Yes, thank you so much. And I agree with what you just said, and also what you just said. I think a lot of the things I wanted to say, you already very well explained, so thank you. Yeah, so I am a UN youth representative in the Netherlands. So I joined the delegation of that go to the Biodiversity COP, for example, but also to the World Food Forum I can go, of course. And yeah, what I've learned from this is that it's very important to have youth in the delegation, not just be present. I think young people can be present a lot of times, but they don't have like the voice to change policy, right? Like the changing of policy is the most important part, but we can't do that, even though we're with half of the world. Half of the world is under 30 years. I believe that's the correct statistic. So how important is it that we shape the future for ourselves with the young people, like with ourselves? And yeah, I think that's what we try to do in the Netherlands, in the UN delegation, where I join, and then we can actually change the ideas of the delegation, and we are part of the entire process. We get all the documents that we need to include our ideas and to have the language more youth inclusive. So we try to do that, and I think it would be very inspiring if a lot of more countries would do this inside their official delegation, instead of just maybe just taking some young people, but like actually have them in the delegation. And I think that's where I want to round it up, because we have been talking for quite a little bit of time. So I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity, and I want to wish you a very nice World Food Forum, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much to all our speakers for this inspiring, but I have to say also truly intergenerational exchange. I think that this discussion showed that youth are not just the beneficiaries of agri-food policies, but they are co-creators of solutions. So if we want to build a fair, sustainable and resilient food system, then intergenerational cooperation is not optional, it's essential. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
One more, please. All right, amazing. Like, this intergenerational dialogue is super bold, especially I'm coming from the World Food Forum Indonesia chapter as well, and I feel the sense of this discussion, and it's super amazing. Again, thank you to all our panelists for those thoughtful insights, and to everyone in the audience for sharing your priorities. Again, I feel super goosebumps, and I feel something needed from the youth to young at heart, as said beforehand. It's now time for our first cultural break, brought to you by the World Food Forum Youth Culture Program. Finally, we can relax a bit, right? Of course, the Youth Culture Program leverages the power of culture to engage, inspire, and empower people everywhere to make positive change in our agri-food system. Can you guess what is our performance? No? All right. Can you please make a drum roll? Ooh, amazing. Perfecto. So let's now enjoy the rhythm and heritage of Rwanda with a performance from the Inganji Culture Troupe.
Yenda bakundi bihangange. Yenda bakunda Nina chichiwa nibiza. twatoje Kinyarwanda, twatoje umuco wa Kinyarwanda. Tambuka neza. Bana beza b'i Rwanda. Izo ni intore z'inganji, inganji. Yego nuko yego. Ibigwi byadusiga inyuma tizo. Yego izina rikivugira. Ni intore z'i Rwanda batoje umuco. Turi inkoramutima z'igihugu.
Izo ngizo bazita inganji.
Uru ni u Rwanda. Yego disiwe. Yego we. Sekera abashyitsi we. Yego we. Nuko we. Ubwuzu n'uburanga bibaranga disi. Yego ye. Yego ye. Twambaye inkindi disiwe.
Dore uko basohoka. Nuko murakarama disiwe. Nuko.
Wasn't that a lovely performance? Another round of applause for the Inganji dancers. A hearty thank you for sharing your beautiful culture with us. Up next, we will now have our second intergenerational roundtable. And in this discussion, you'll hear from our high-level leaders and young innovators and scientists on the theme of youth-led innovation in agri-food systems. I think by now you should be acquainted. When you see me, be ready with your phones. Because once again, I think you know the drill. I invite you to scan the QR code and let us know in one word what you think young agri-food innovators need most to scale up their ideas and projects. So there's a screen in front of you, to your side, scan it. Let us know in one word what you think young agri-food innovators need most to scale up their ideas and projects. So your answers are coming in. We are looking at innovators and what they need most. And as you do that, I would like to invite on stage our panel moderator, Ms. Xiaoji Aimovara, the president of Wageningen University and Research. She's a global leader in food and agricultural sciences and a steadfast supporter of youth-led innovation in agri-food systems. Wageningen University has been a strong partner of the World Food Forum, including through the establishment of the Youth Food Lab, which empowers young innovators to turn bold ideas into real solutions for our agri-food systems. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in welcoming Ms. Aimovara. A round of applause for her. Welcome. And she will be moderating a panel. We start with His Excellency Carlos Docanto Monteiro, the Minister for Youth and Sports, Republic of Cabo Verde. A round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you. Next, we have Adolfo Perez, Executive Director of the National Institute of Student Welfare of the Dominican Republic. Lovely. Wonderful. We have the youth coming up next, led by Ashirwad Raj Shah, member of the 2025 Youth Food Lab Global Cohort and winner of the 2024 Wageningen University and Research Food Systems Innovation Challenge. Let's make it louder than that. And finally, we have Ms. Laura Kirwan from the World Food Forum Young Scientist Group. Okay, lots of love for Laura. All right, over to you.
Yeah? Thank you. Well, welcome, my high-level panel. I'm really looking forward to this one. Whereas, I'm the president of Whereas was introduced, and of course, we have as one of our core missions to educate youth, to educate the talents of the world to become responsible change makers in this world, and how do we need them? And I'm really happy to have some of them on stage too today. But we will start today's panel with His Excellency Carlos Docanto Monteiro, the Minister Adjunct of the Prime Minister for Youth and Sports, Republic of Cabo Verde. And I would like to ask you, what do you think are the most important things to scale up innovations by youth?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And we just saw in the Mentimeter, the youth are talking about funding, talking about opportunities, talking about access to land, and talking about technology. And that's what we think as well is the most important things to scale up. In Cape Verde, we've been doing much of the policy are directed to that. And we're talking about the building of a technology park in the two main islands, Santiago and São Vicente. We're talking about incubation, access to funding. We create programs to solve that in the National Institute for Entrepreneurship. And it's still a challenge, but we're driving it. When we talk about when we started for the programs to access to fund, we started with 50% state guarantee for the youth entrepreneurs, and then to 75. And now we have a case that we can give to 100% state guarantee for the credits and also for people in the agri-food business as well. And we have to talk about the access to land. We have to talk about the legal security that we must give to people, even in the inheritance process. It's a huge challenge in Cape Verde because we have a lot of land in inheritance process, and then it keeps going on year by year, and then we need to solve it. And we also give the exemption of taxes in all the property transferring when related to agriculture, and also with the inheriting process as well. But we must talk about everything of technology, the use of drones in agriculture. It's all promoted. And when you talk about funding, we talk about technology. Not only funding so they can start the business, and we have a lot of programs to help the startups in agri-food systems, but also funding that's going to be enough for them to use new technologies. And we have also a big challenge in Cabo Verde, talking to access to water as well. And we've been serious investments in desalinizations. That's the present and future of Cabo Verde. We've been surrounded by the sea, and we must invest on that, the desalinization as well. And I must say, all of that has to be supported as well to give the young people access to the decision-making process. And the Prime Minister creates a youth council that works with him to give youth from in the country, but also from our immense diaspora, access to the main decision politician in the country. And I think that's a big forum for them. We also created the National Youth Forum, and every National Youth Forum and the regional forum as well, there's always a panel that we work with the Ministry of Agriculture. My colleague is here to address the climate change issues and to address the agri-food system issues as well. So we bring youth to the center of the decision to participate and to bring the solution as well. And you create the ecosystem to funding, access to land, and access to technology as well. I think that's the ecosystem that it needs to be created and to be worked to improve year by year. Thank you.
Well, that sounds like Cabo Verde has a brilliant future being youth in Cabo Verde.
And once again,
yeah, I would like to invite.
Right. So I think when you see me, just be ready with your phone and be ready for more surprises. We do have His Excellency Mahinur Özdemir Gotas. He is the Minister for Family and Social Services, Republic of Turkey. All right, let's welcome her with a round of applause again. Thank you, Her Excellency. You're most welcome.
Yeah, you're actually, as you are here now, as our big surprise, I was hoping, because I saw you, I would like you to, as is customary here in the panels, to answer the next, to be our next speaker, and to answer the question, what would be useful to scale up projects and initiatives by youth innovators, and also especially in your country.
So thank you for so much. I understand the misunderstanding also. So it's a big pleasure for me to be here today at this forum. And when we are talking about young people, we are
young people are very creative. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here and to discuss about this question, but to scale the impact that the young people are need, I think they need three things. At first, they need trust from institutions and from also the investors and from the society, because if the society trusts the young people, they can innovate and they can be very creative. And we must believe in their ideas and support their courage. Second, they need, I think, access to technology, also to training, finance, and markets. In Turkey, we are expanding programs that connect young people, young investors in agro-systems with entrepreneurs in rural areas with digital tools, also with microfinance and mentorship networks. And I think this is very important. And I think at third, they need partnerships. If we provide them all those three needs, we can support young people, and also with partnership with government, with university, and also with private sectors. We must together work and support young innovators. They are the bridge. Young people are the bridge between traditions and the future. And we must provide them those three support, because the strategic objective is to transform young people into actors who not only develop projects, but also attract investment, create employment, revitalize rural areas, and contribute to sustainable developments, because young people are the future and we must trust to them. In Turkey, we have also Council for Young People and other programs to support young people and providing them the financement and all kinds of support to encourage them, because agri-food is the future, is our common futures. And if young people are the actors today, they will be the leadership of tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And then we move to Mr. Adolfo Perez, the Executive Director of the National Institute of National Youth Welfare in the Dominican Republic. So you should be one to answer this question. What do we need to scale up?
Well, it's a true honor to represent the government and the people of the Dominican Republic at this World Food Forum 2025. I'm now working at the National Institute for Student Welfare in ABIE, and I thank you the opportunity to share how are we driving innovation and sustainability in school feeding at our country. Well, we are working very hard now. We are working with the food, with the breakfast for the school population for 2 million students in the public system in the Dominican Republic. It's a very hard job we are doing every day, every single day, and also for adult students at the public systems. So we are pleased to announce in this forum that we want to work with the extension of the cooperation agreement between us and the FAO. This partnership strengthened our project Healthy and Sustainable Schools, which aims to improve the quality of the food that reach for more than 2 million Dominican students every day. But our vision goes beyond the numbers. We see school feeding as a transformative platform where education and nutrition comes together to help children reach their full physical and intellectual potential. Let me share you a few highlights of what we are doing now in the Dominican Republic. First, we have implemented a rainwater harvesting system in 6 schools. These systems provide water for school use, but also teach students and teachers about the importance of managing a natural resource responsible, linking water, health, and nutrition. Second, we have created 50 school gardens, and we plan to build more. These gardens are outdoor classrooms, a space where children learn how food is grown, understand its value, and develop habits for healthy eating. Third, we are training teachers and students through a guide effective on food and nutrition education. This means that we are not only serving meals, we are helping students to understand what they eat, appreciate it, and make healthy choices every day. Fourth, in the southern province of Aswa, we are building a gastronomic laboratory, a center training school kitchen staff, and developing regional recipes. We are also improving school kitchens and introducing tools to measure and reduce food waste, making sure that every resource is used wisely. And last but not least, we continue to strengthen our school food and nutrition committees known as CANE. These bring together teachers, parents, and students to ensure that the program runs effectively. I can say that we are not only providing nutrition meals, we are educating and we are empowering future generations, young people capable of transforming their communities with knowledge, creativity, and a strong sense of responsibility. We believe that in a well-being that transcends, one that impacts life today but transforms the future. And we're working also thinking that every meal served, every garden planted, and every workshop taught is a seed of change we plant for a healthier, more sustainable tomorrow. We want to thank the FAO and to all of you for allowing us to build this path together, a path where students are not just beneficiaries, but true leaders of transformation of our food system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. And now I will want to move to our youth voices. And we have now heard the powers that be talk about access to funding, access to technology, access to education, and even gardens. But what do you feel that you need to scale up your innovations? And I want to say, because I'm really proud, that Ashirwan Reje is from the Youth Lab Global Cohort 2025. So I feel very much connected as it's from the Global Food Cup.
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Agri-food innovator like us, we often start with limited experience. So we young people have to make sure about 3C. We have to stick with that. The 3C are consistency, clarity, and connection or connectivity. So let me make much more clear from our journey. So we were one of the selected team for Food System Innovation Challenge 2020-24 chapter. And by our smart work and hard work, we made it to final and won the first runner-up title. And we got selected for Youth Food Lab Incubation Program, which is under FAO. So this incubation program really supported a lot for us. So it gave us a technical and business skill, mentorship program, networking and connection, and knowing about other team members all around the world. And also we knew about the GESI, gender equality and social inclusion. And we were made known that we are the one who is gonna change for agri-food system. So yeah, the YFL really helped us. So at last not least, I suggest young people who is new for agri-food innovator to stick in a 3C, connectivity, clarity, and connection, or yeah, so that will help a lot. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. That is a very clear answer with a lot of C's. Laura,
Hi, everyone.
what do you want to add to this?
Yeah, I think the conversation has been great. A lot of it has been mentioned already and on the earlier panel. I think funding and capital is quite an obvious one, but I think beyond even the funding and capital, it's making sure that young people have the resources to, they have transport budget, they can get to the airport, they can get there, they have accommodation covered and things like that. So it's not only the seed funding rounds and the capital, but making sure that I suppose that financial infrastructure is there for youth to really succeed. So the second thing for me is really, again, around the infrastructure, but also the support. So, there can be this amazing international opportunity available online for everyone to apply. Do people feel like they can apply and put themselves forward for that? Just thinking of how I myself got into the WFF, the World Food Forum, Young Scientists Group. I was previously on the European Health Parliament, which is another, I suppose, voluntary youth engagement initiative from the European Commission. And somebody from that network that I'd built up, I suppose, globally, messaged me on WhatsApp and said, the Young Scientists Group applications are open. I think you'd be really great for it, and I think you should apply. And that for me was, it's a snowball effect that the more youth get involved and the earlier they get involved in these initiatives and these global networks, the more becomes available to you. And you can really see it opening up the world for you globally, I suppose, around agri-food and science and networking, and really getting to know people that are researching and working in the same area that you are. I think it was mentioned earlier as well, but just my last point is that I think full integration is really important. So I think the youth side events are amazing, and this youth forum is absolutely amazing. But I think the earlier on that the youth and young people can get really integrated and embedded into the national level decisions and policy making, and really learn from a young age, as young as possible, how it works. They're really building up skills, and they know how to go about even getting into policy making. So I just feel that, early integration is really crucial. And also just making sure that it's not just, we're getting youth involved in this and youth are commenting on this policy and it's great. You're building up future leaders of your country, and you're really building up a future network of global innovators and agri-food, even people that go into business around agri-food and set it up. You're really building an infrastructure there for not only young people to succeed, but to really lead at a national and international level. And I think that's really important, that it's not just youth being involved, it's actually building up capacity, building up skills, and building up that networking to really allow youth to go out there and represent their countries, and really deliver really important, scalable agri-food tech and businesses at a really international level. And I think that's really important. So yeah, that's all I have to add.
Well, thank you so much. Does anybody want to comment on this? No? No. Yeah, I thought you looked at me like you wanted to comment. Well, I think this shows that that the power of the youth innovation capacity, and we really need that, and the energy, and it also shows in this hall today. And I think that celebrating your 80th birthday with youth, I hope I can manage that one day. And I want to thank you so much for your participation. Thank you.
I'd just like to add as well, sorry, for the Young Scientists Group, the people that run the project from the FAO, Kate and Letitia, have just set up a massively amazing infrastructure for us to allow us to contribute, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to contribute as much as I have without their support, so I just wanted to say thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Thank you so much for this amazing discussion. I highlighted regarding the public-private partnership can foster young involvement in agri-food system transformation. I highlighted as well, underlined that today, young is not the leader of tomorrow, but we are the leader of today. Thank you to our panelists and to the audience for offering their perspective on what agri-food innovators need to scale up their ideas and projects. Again, if I here, so everything will be fun. And now, we have another special cultural segment, I said, right? We have someone that's super interactive and having a good voices. Join us in welcoming singer-songwriter Sara Kurucic from Guatemala, who will be performing in her mother tongue, Cachiquel, as well as in Spanish and English. Let's call Sara. Sara, 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 Sara. Sara. All right, please welcome Sara. You are very welcome. Please go ahead and give warm welcome for Sara.
Tikulu hungnum rusili vechi hojonal. Yalan yeki kotro mayen koba baby king de honi makare. Hi everyone, I'm Sara Kurucic, Maya Cachiquel from Guatemala, and I want to share this song, Germina Libertad, Freedom Sprouts, with you. And I want to dedicate to all people and all communities who defend our land or territories, the seeds and knowledge. Para ustedes. Thank you so much.
La tierra guarda voces, memoria de siglos. Cada semilla es un testimonio vivo como tu aliento. Insistir en florecer, gestar la palabra de fuego. Que hay un pulso en la tierra que también habita en tu interior. Fácilmente puede ser el eco de tu voz que guía a transmutar a la sanación. Si siembra, si siembra, ay si siembra, germina libertad. Tiqaba kashakh ruchab el riqaq, ruchab el kaqaq, ruchab el ulef, khokuk aster, Come, let us awaken from the heart of jungles and ancestral forests. Every seed carries a reason and song, reshaping, reweaving the living web. Quiero caminar con vos, ir enterrando los pies en la tierra, ir silbando los cantos al bosque, con vos germinar. Si siembra, si siembra, si siembra, germina libertad. Si siembra, si siembra, siembra canto, amor, resistencia, siembra.
Muchísimas gracias, Daniela Matiosh. Muchas gracias. Felicidades por los 80 años, Fau. Muchas gracias.
Amazing. Muchas gracias, Sara, for that amazing song and beautiful voices. Thank you so much. Terima kasih. And this was the perfect introduction to the next discussion. So I will be a bit serious right now, focusing on the importance of our food heritage. So we are more focusing on the food heritage. So let's now get started. Let's watch a short trailer here.
Food is more than what we eat. It is memory, it is tradition, it is identity. Food heritage is both tangible, the seeds we plant, the tools we use, the dishes we prepare, and intangible, the stories we tell, the rituals we keep, the knowledge passed down from generation to generation. But today, many of these traditions are at risk, and with them, we risk losing not only our heritage, but also a part of who we are. At the World Food Forum Global Youth Action, we believe in protecting and revitalizing food heritage through the creativity and leadership of youth. Because when young people innovate, traditions do not disappear. They evolve, adapt, and stay alive. What is food heritage for you?
It's the taste of my grandmother's cooking.
It's the seed we save for the next season.
It's the festival we celebrate after the harvest.
It's the story behind every dish.
It's our past shaping our future.
Youth is not only the future, it is our present.
Together, we can keep food heritage alive, not only for us, but for generations to come. Join us in empowering communities. Join us in protecting identity. Join us in celebrating food heritage.
What a powerful video. And it's so important for all of us to understand and explore the connection between culture, identity, and agri-food systems. It's now my pleasure to jump into the third and last intergenerational roundtable of the session. For this, we're putting up the QR code once more, and we'd really like to understand in one word, what you think are the areas in which youth are most needed for safeguarding and revitalizing food heritage. While your answers come in, I'd like to invite on stage our panel moderator, Ms. Aruna Gujral, Director General of the International Center for the Study of the Preservation and Restoration of Cultural Property, better known as ICRM. ICRM is an intergovernmental organization with a global mandate to improve the conservation of cultural heritage in all its forms, movable, immovable, tangible, and intangible. For nearly 70 years, ICRM has worked at international, national, and community levels to foster innovation and strengthen professional and institutional capacities. And it's a key partner of the World Food Forum Youth Initiative. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Gujral to moderate this important discussion along with our panelists. First, Her Excellency Lesego Chombo, Minister for Youth and Gender Affairs from the Republic of Botswana. Next up, we have His Excellency Victor Julio Carvajal Porras, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock from the Republic of Costa Rica. They'll also be joined by Sara Di Luca, UNESCO Chair of Intangible Cultural Heritage Policy and Comparative Law. And lastly on the panel, we have Lenona Tausa, World Food Forum Youth Policy Board member. With that, Aruna, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and so great to be with you today. And thank you for the introduction to ICRM. So I don't need to do it once more, but it's a honor to moderate this table with your Excellency and distinguished friends and partners. And what an important topic. Just a couple of minutes to then give you the floor to reflect on this excellent matchmaking, food heritage. I don't think we use it very often, and it's such an amazing moment to discuss about it. Food is not just consumption and production, and heritage is not just bricks and mortars and monuments. And this resonates so well with our mission in ICRM, where we really believe in a mission of conserve, activate, and recognize heritage as a powerful source of living livelihoods and, of course, sustainability Indeed, both food and heritage, and again, what a great match, do actually carries a lot of meanings together, like identity, memories, knowledge, traditional knowledge, ancestral practices, and of course also in agriculture and in food practices. So I think today we are bringing this narrative to the next level, how to associate food and heritage as a very important source of sustainability, but not only to look into the past. So of course they are representative of the past, but they are of course also agent of change. And of course here we are talking to the youth and how youth can bring these elders' recipes and the traditional in the cuisine to become, of course, a source of innovations and, of course, source of economic growth and sustainability overall. I'm very delighted, of course, to have with me today in the panel. And so without further ado, I would like to ask this question to Your Excellency, Minister Chombo. You are, of course, a testimony, and your journey speaks by itself, how youth can raise their voice up to becoming policymaker. How do you think youth in your country are engaged and agent in safeguarding, preserving heritage, not only as a relic of the past, but also to become a source of innovation for the future?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have to just give a bit of background as to why, there's a lot of energy and reference to what she said about youth rising to be policymakers. I am currently the Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs in Botswana, serving as the youngest member of parliament as well as the youngest member of cabinet. Serving as the youngest member of cabinet in the continent as well. I'm only 27 and I was appointed at 26. And that is also why I use that as an excuse to get energy from the room, And it works wonders always. I'll lead with that, with what you led with about youth rising to be policymakers. It's always inspiring to see a lot of young people sitting here and advocating, but I aspire to see a world where young people are not just advocating, but that are actually sitting at the table. I give this example that when we are building ramps for persons living with disability, we don't say, let's imagine what they would want that ramp to be like. No, you let them decide the kind of ramp that works for them. And that is the level of inclusivity that I aspire to see in the world. And this includes leadership as a whole, including in food and heritage and agriculture. And I appreciate that you pointed out that young people are not just a conduit to remember what happened in the past, but they are indeed the channel in which it is taken forth into the future. Now, in Botswana, young people do play quite a critical role at all levels. Exhibit A. And this also includes in agriculture as well as in food heritage. And the starting point, really, I'd like to say that our culture is such that we are very close to the elderly. I'm personally very close to my grandmother. She's one of my best friends. And you tend to realize that their knowledge and their practices, their skills are preserved in their minds and in their hearts. And they're documented nowhere. And that is where we come in as young people. We bear the responsibility to really ensure that we document everything that our elders currently know. And what's most important to note, especially for me, I'm a creative as well, is that there is a high need to invest in the creative sector and recognize them as this unique group that we can leverage on to promote heritage through music, through arts, through storytelling, through poetry, day-to-day interactions of creatives, but as well as leveraging on digital archives, but in a most creative sense. Our creative industry in Botswana as well as in Africa is truly a great point of reference in this area. It's also very important to note that young innovators are instrumental. We cannot leave them behind when we speak of heritage and preservation. And this is because they get to create unique and innovative ways of preserving food, especially seeds. And seed preservation is a big priority in Africa currently. And we cannot run away from modernization. I know quite often when we speak of preservation, it's because we want it in the way that it was 100 years ago. We want it in the way that it was 50 years ago. We don't want it diluted. But the reality of the situation is that the world is being modernized, and we have to create that balance. And so culinary innovation, reimagining traditional dishes, to create contemporary tastes, to also link that to food tourism and to offer opportunities for economic empowerment as well for young people is a way that we need to move forward to in terms of preserving cultural identity. And with that being said, it's also critical to note that youth-led enterprises, I love that I saw funding. In every question that was being asked, there was a whole lot of, we need funding. How best can you think young people can be, partners in food heritage funding? How best do you think that innovation funding? And I love that it's coming from the room and it's coming from various leaders. And so funding youth-led enterprises in order to support them to really preserve our heritage and our food through their businesses. In Botswana, we have a program called the Youth Development Fund, and it funds youth enterprises. 50% is a loan, 50% is a grant. And in those, I'm very proud that the ministry has experienced certain young enterprise, youth-led enterprises preserving our food and our culture and producing locally sourced food, which preserves our heritage indeed. And in conclusion, I'd like to point out, and let me give this example, there's an ongoing TikTok trend, I don't think it's gonna come to an end, where young people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're the parents today, And they do different challenges that are very weird, but they showcase how we didn't expect parenting to look the way it looks now. But the reality of it is that young people are indeed the parents of today. And so we ought to not just look at them as cultural inheritors, but to perceive them as transmitters of heritage to the next generation, because they, as parents, get to contribute to the safeguarding, preserving, and revitalizing of food heritage by passing it on to their children. With that being said, I hope that I will see all of you at the stall for Botswana food. It is absolutely delicious, and I hope that you will enjoy it. And for every other young person here, please go tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to try Botswana food. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. A big round of applause to you, to your energy, your commitment to bringing youth and heritage at the forefront of the agenda for national policy. I know that you resonate so well with ICROM. And of course, as I like to say as well, is investing in people and investing in young people is the most strategic long-term investment we can do. Thank you for bringing topics like creative economies, cultural creative industries. Young people can be not only, as you said, the inheritant or the transmitter of our past, but they can innovate and shape it for a better future and for better opportunities. Thank you again, and I'd like to call upon His Excellency Minister Carvajal Porras from Costa Rica. Thank you for being with us today. Costa Rica is very rich of culture, but also of biodiversity, of course, and is also rich of youth people with a lot of talent too. So can you tell us your point of view on how the youth of today can not only preserve the past, but being the safeguarder and carers of the heritage for the future?
Muy buenas tardes y muchas gracias. Realmente yo lo sumaría con la parte tecnológica. Cuando nosotros vemos cómo la tecnología está cambiando nuestras vidas, y nos vamos a las zonas rurales y a la parte agrícola, vemos también cómo el cambio está siendo también sumamente importante. Entonces, las juventudes pueden incorporar estos aspectos tecnológicos y justamente incidir en la misión de políticas, pero también haciendo propuestas disruptivas. El tema de la agricultura con los jóvenes se vuelve con temas mucho más tecnológicos, el tema de drones, y cuando incorporamos todas estas partes tecnológicas y una normativa desde la parte pública que acoja esas necesidades, podemos ver cómo hacemos atractivo el campo nuevamente. Entonces, el poder emitir las políticas para que los jóvenes se involucren desde el campo nos está permitiendo en muchos escenarios llevarla en cada una de las etapas de la parte productiva, desde la parte de la finca, el resguardo de las semillas, y luego llegamos a la parte productiva. Costa Rica, si bien es cierto, es bien caracterizada por su rica biodiversidad y sus playas paradisíacas. También tenemos una riqueza gastronómica sumamente importante asociada a la parte turística. Y entonces ahí también las juventudes están teniendo un rol protagónico en cada una de las transformaciones de los platillos tradicionales o típicos costarricenses. Costa Rica también tiene una parte de zona azul, caracterizada obviamente por sus riquezas gastronómicas y sus prácticas ancestrales que generan una mayor edad en cada una de su población. Entonces, ahí también vemos cómo las personas jóvenes están ingresando a tener un rol protagónico. No son simplemente un actor más en la cadena, sino más bien son ese actor disruptivo. Estamos viendo también cómo en la parte de turismo, generan todo un cambio asociado a no solo en la parte gastronómica, sino también en la parte de cómo es la experiencia de ese turista que llega a suelo nacional. Y realmente está siendo muy interesante ver toda esta combinación de factores porque, si bien, como bien lo decía mi antecesora, los jóvenes no son una parte aislada, es la continuidad y entonces tienen también esa parte ancestral con sus abuelos, como es el caso de ella, o bien con sus padres y entonces justamente generan esas líneas de combinación. Nosotros en Costa Rica también tenemos la parte cultural bien arraigada por la parte de las políticas públicas, donde tenemos centros de formación para la parte artística, que viene también a ser un complemento. Y ahí sí necesitamos continuar generando las condiciones que hagan a las juventudes atractivo estar dentro del sector. No es solo la importancia de los jóvenes, sino es qué tienen que hacer los gobiernos desde la parte de la política pública para que se vuelva atractivo y ellos estén ahí. Donde las juventudes estén es ganancia, siempre es ganancia. Y lo vemos en la parte tecnológica. Los mayores cambios tecnológicos están siendo liderados por personas jóvenes. Entonces, lo que nos corresponde a nosotros, en este caso, mi rol como ministro es emitir políticas públicas que incentiven a los jóvenes a estar presentes, porque siempre que están presentes tenemos ganancias y es ahí algo que nosotros siempre buscamos rescatar. En el pasado también pudimos ver cómo el tema de la influencia cultural de otros países tiene un impacto significativo en el cambio de cómo nos alimentamos todas las poblaciones, digamos en el caso de nuestro país, Costa Rica. Y entonces toda esta influencia ha generado que en muchas ocasiones cambiemos nuestros hábitos. En Costa Rica tenemos algo muy tradicional que compartimos con nuestro vecino Nicaragua, que es el gallo pinto. Y es una comida bastante tradicional costarricense. Sin embargo, en algún momento comenzamos a ceder algunos aspectos importantes de esa comida típica que conforme las juventudes empiezan a integrar y empiezan a hacer esas transformaciones, vuelven a hacerlo atractivo nuevamente. Y eso es una tarea primordial que creo que debemos seguir incentivando en cada una de nuestras posiciones, siempre teniendo claro algo. A la gente joven no hay que necesariamente decirles qué hacer. Hay que darle libertad para que propongan y transformen y haga todo mucho mejor.
Muchísimas gracias, Su Excelencia, por su intervención muy importante. And thank you so much for telling us so many other ingredients to our story. In fact, it's not a silo way of looking at heritage and agri-food system, but it's so important that we together, we bring this narrative forward and how important are youth in connecting all the dots. And as you said, to make the agri-food system more attractive for the youth to remain and become the agent of tomorrow and the entrepreneurship of tomorrow. Heritage plays a very big role, and thank you for highlighting that. Now, let's turn the floor to other youth. I mean, I think we are a very, very important representation of how youth can make it in many forms. So we have heard policymakers, important ministers talking to us and to you now, Sarah and Linona. What are you taking away from these messages from their excellencies and how these resonate in your current duties? Sarah, you are chair of the UNESCO. You can explain to the panel more, but tell me, what do you think about having the youth as carriers, cultural bearers also in this context. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you also for the inspiring words. Well, I believe that youth is, as we were saying before, the new generation are fundamental to keep the heritage and the food heritage alive. And I was looking before at the words and the response here from the audience, and I was trying to understand what could be the common point, how all these elements that were here on the screen can be possible. And I believe the answer relies in the difference between youth being active in safeguarding and revitalizing food heritage rather than just being involved. And with this, I think it's very important to understand where is this difference. And I think it lies in the moment in which youth is left a space also to reinterpret the heritage. And with this, I mean something very simple. So all of you here in the audience, you have some food heritage that has been inherited to you from your community, from your parents, from your grandparents, anything. Could be a recipe, could be agricultural practice. If you think about it, think whether it has changed over time. And I'm sure you can think about something even very little that has changed over time while transmitting. And this is the core. Food heritage is a living heritage. It lives with the people. It changes with time. It adapts with generation. And this is crucial. This is fundamental. Also because generation changes and the external threats and external challenges change with the new generations. And sometimes what happens is that food heritage is transmitted in a way with a fixed narratives. But it is especially for this reason that we need to involve youth. And here is the role of youth, of new generations, in having the space to reinterpret the new heritage. Because with the reinterpretation, with relearning, with giving meaning to heritage, in this way, youth also build their own identities. They build a sense of belonging with the community, a shared identities, which are all elements which are at the bedrock of resilience. So, and this is not just, let's say, an impactful way to involve youth. This also mirrors international convention. I'm just going to cite one, which is the core, the 2003 UNESCO Convention on the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. And there, this mirrors the involvement, the importance of transmitting heritage to new generations and also leaving the space to reinterpret this heritage. So just to wrap up my thoughts on the panel and the words, I think it's there, the role of youth.
Thank you so much for bringing the important topic of intangible heritage, and of course for all of us to remember that a lot of food products are actually on the list of the 2003 Convention of UNESCO. So how is important that not only the product in itself, but the practices that have been put behind the production of that food and the recipe, and of course the seeds and the crops and all that makes the practice of food production and food exchange, make it also on the list of intangible heritage. And thank you for bringing a champion and ambassador of this very important topic. So let's go to Linona now. And you heard a lot today, but you have your part to say. So we want to hear from you as well, Linona.
Thank you so much. I bring warmest specific greetings from the Moana and the Wansolwara Oceania. Whawhitai lava mole avanoa. Thank you for the opportunity to be in this space amongst amazing youth leaders, to be in an intergenerational space that fosters meaningful dialogue. I would like to first acknowledge, as Sara has mentioned, the insightful responses on the Mentimeter. It's very inspiring to see how youth from across the world understand the importance of safeguarding and revitalizing food heritage. What stands out to me is that despite our different cultures, we all recognize that food is more than sustenance. It's more than survival. In fact, it carries identity, memory, and connection. That shared understanding is something that I am deeply resonated with, and it's something that is deeply felt in the Pacific. In the context of the Pacific, youth are playing a pivotal role in safeguarding food heritage, especially as we confront the impacts of climate change, urbanization, and shifting food systems. A powerful example comes from Samoa, where young people are revitalizing the umu, which is a traditional earth oven. It is an act of community, it's an act of patience, respect for the environment. Every step from wrapping the food in banana leaves to using coconut husks and stones as natural heat sources. This reflects a deep understanding of sustainability and resourcefulness. Through Umu gatherings, youth learn the values of fa'aloalo, which is respect, tautua, which is service, fitausia'i, which is reciprocity, and alofa, which is love. Values that are essential to both cultural identity and environmental stewardship. These Umu practices have also taken root in the Pacific diaspora. In places like New Zealand, where I'm currently based, and Australia, Samoan youth are hosting Umu workshops to teach traditional preparation methods and share the stories behind them. These gatherings go far beyond food. They are spaces of intergenerational exchange, where elders pass on wisdom, where youth reaffirm the connection to home. Through these acts, food becomes a bridge, so it's preserving memory while adapting to new contexts. Beyond the kitchen, Pacific youth are also embracing technology as a powerful tool for cultural preservation. Many are documenting, they're archiving, and they're recording the traditions and practices that were once passed down solely through storytelling. They're capturing elders' voices, recipes, planting calendars, and ancestral farming and fishing techniques, transforming oral traditions into digital archives and overall transforming our cultural memory. By doing so, they're ensuring that our cultural knowledge does not disappear with time or displacement, especially in the wake of climate change in the Pacific, where our homes are at risk. Platforms like podcasts, social media pages, TikTok, online repositories are now serving as modern-day faletele, communal meeting houses, where food heritage is shared, learned, and celebrated across oceans, across the Moana. This merging of ancestral wisdom and digital innovation safeguards our traditions for future generations, especially as the future of our islands grows uncertain. These acts of documentation and revitalization remind us that safeguarding food heritage is not just about preserving the past, it's about preparing us for the future. Through these efforts, Pacific youth are not only keeping their identities alive, but also building resilience in the face of global challenges. They're showing that cultural continuity and environmental sustainability are deeply intertwined, that caring for our traditions also means caring for our planet. Although these examples come from the Pacific, the lessons they offer are universal. Around the world, food heritage represents the intersection between culture, community, and climate. Youth everywhere celebrate indigenous ingredients, traditional knowledge, and lead adaptation through innovation. In doing so, we not only preserve our histories, but we also shape a more sustainable and culturally grounded future for food systems globally. There is a Samoan proverb that says, "Elelele toloa ai ma'awi levai." The toloa bird may fly to greener fields, but always returns to the water that it comes from. It reminds us that no matter how far we go or how much the world changes, then we must always return to our roots, our ancestors, our heritage. As Pacific youth and as youth of the world, our responsibility is to ensure that our food heritage continues to nourish not only our bodies, but also our sense of belonging, our communities, and our planet. Thank you.
Linona, thank you so much. What a wonderful way of closing our panel today and reminding us all the important topics that you said. And let's remember ourselves that we are an intergenerational roundtable. I think this interregional dialogue and conversation exchange need to carry on beyond our panel today, because you really mentioned the very important words like the wisdom and how the ancestral knowledge need to be preserved and safeguarded and celebrate, but also to shape our future, and how important is the role of youth as innovator with the use of digital technologies and innovation, as mentioned earlier, and so much else we can do together, making the food heritage as a very important source of better life and livelihood, and of course, as you mentioned, example from the Pacific, also an excellent solutions for contemporary challenges like the climate crisis and others. So thank you for your important words. I don't want to finish this panel without giving a 30 seconds takeaway message. If our ministers have heard the other youth and want to share with us a few takeaway messages, I would be very delighted. Over to you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a little controversial for me because I am young myself.
That's not controversial.
It sometimes, every time, not every time. Sometimes when I'm asked what are your thoughts on what the young people are saying, I always think it's exactly what I think because I'm young. That's what I mean. But I'd just like to validate everything that they both said. And one thing in particular that stood out for me is how there's unity in the thoughts of young people from different parts of the world. Both of them were very subjective in how they apply food heritage from where they come from, but there's consensus, especially in the space of the fact that it's a new generation, and ultimately that new generation ought to be given the liberty for them to explore what it means to them and how best they can take it forth for further generations, but still with mindfulness of the fact that it ought to be preserved, that it ought to not erode. And so that fine balance is very important, and I look forward to engaging further with the young people in terms of how best they think we can create that balance. Yes, to give the liberty and be mindful that, there's modernization, times are changing, the challenges are new, but still mindful of the fact that it needs not to erode.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Minister Carvajal, a few words.
Yo creo que hay algo que es importante también de rescatar y es el impacto económico que tienen en las comunidades rurales, el darle la oportunidad a los jóvenes de redescubrir y reescribir la historia gastronómica en muchos casos. Y lo digo porque en un mundo cada vez más globalizado, donde en muchas ocasiones la competitividad hace que en algunos productos tradicionales no puedan algunas zonas rurales ser generadoras de riqueza, pues también se abre la ventana que en cultivos y principalmente utilizando semillas autóctonas y criollas, podríamos encontrar cómo monetizar significativamente y generar por medio de este encadenamiento de puntos que hablábamos hace un momento, una distribución de la riqueza que le llegue a permear a todos los habitantes de estas zonas rurales. Entonces yo creo que es continuar permitiéndole a todas estas juventudes ser disruptivos. No hay ninguna forma de pensamiento, como bien lo decía la ministra. Realmente hay que dejarlos que ellos reescriban como corresponde y como la historia lo va permitiendo también, y que esta transformación vaya llegando a todos los rincones de cada uno de los países que hoy estamos acá y en el mundo entero.
Perfecto. Muchísimas gracias. So it's very clear. Food system, our cultural system. And I thank you very much for being with us. Well done.
Thank you to the panelists for that stimulating discussion. We have so much to talk about. And again, thank you to everyone for sharing your experiences, your priorities of youth engagement in cultural heritage. It's so great to see so many perspectives coming together here today. And with this, we're coming to another amazing young artist, Mr. Breach Asher Harani from the Philippines, whose film will be featured in this week's World Food Forum Film Festival. Breach is really amazing. He is a recipient of the CNN Pulitzer Climate Storytelling Grant, the New Scientist Editors Award from the Royal Geographic Society, and has been recognized by Forbes Asia 30 Under 30 and the Rockefeller Foundation's CNN Academy. Breach, mabuhay. Over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Breach Asher Harani, and I am a film director from the Philippines. Today, I'm very proud to present to all of you a short documentary film that I made that explores the lives of farmers in my hometown, the Davao region, as they farm cacao, the source of the world-famous chocolates. As they battle the problems and challenges brought by climate change, these farmers utilize innovations, strategies, and technologies in order to save their crops, to save their livelihood, and also to save the future of Philippine chocolates. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick look of my film, Chocolates Melting Away. Enjoy.
Ang
Davao region is very suitable siya for planting cacao. Isa na sa mga reason why we became the chocolate capital of the Philippines.
True sa imong hinaguan, kaya makita nimo nga na harvest kay tungod po sa imong pagatiman.
Kung sobra ang taas ang init, of course affected yun ang ato ang cacao.
So from climate change, our water is unpredictable, either sobrang extreme rainfall or drought.
We're trying to develop a tailor-fit system that can mitigate the effects of this climate change.
Just take care of the soil, the microbes are there, and these soldiers will help you keep your trees healthy.
Rising tides lift all boats. The industry does well, then everyone does well.
Wasn't that a fascinating film? Wasn't that a fascinating film? It was. Another round of applause. And Breach, thank you so much for your presentation and the beautiful film. We've had an incredible morning, full of ideas, inspiration, and youth-led leadership. And now, to close this opening session, it's not another surprise, it's not another QR code, but we will hear from Lorenzo Gentile, Youth Program Lead in the FAO Office of Youth and Women, and he will share what is ahead for youth programming this week. A round of applause for Lorenzo as we welcome him on stage.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you to the excellencies and the panelists that were here with us today for guiding us through such a rich and inspiring opening. What an incredible session this has been so far. And we've heard powerful conversations throughout this morning and seen firsthand that youth are not just the future. They're clearly the present of agri-food systems transformation. From policy and innovation to culture and education, young people are really leading change both globally and locally. And that's exactly what the Youth Initiative is all about, supporting youth to meaningfully engage in and lead agri-food systems transformation. And the Youth Initiative is more than just this forum that we're living this week today. It's actually a global movement built around 5 key programs to support youth empowerment and agency in agri-food systems transformation. We have a youth assembly, empowering youth in governance and policy spaces. We have a youth innovation lab, fostering youth-led innovation and solutions, as well as entrepreneurship, a youth education program, helping young people develop the skills they need to become agents of change in their own communities, as well as a youth culture program that we've just heard from in the last panel, how important food heritage is. And we're celebrating the role of young people as guardians of food heritage, creativity, and identity. And of course, local action, ensuring the transformation does not stay at the global level, but it's actually brought to the communities where it is most needed. Because of course, real transformation cannot stay at the global level, it needs to be localized. And as you saw earlier, our 62 national youth chapters are already driving meaningful change in their local communities and contexts, connecting global ambition with grassroots action. So let's hear from them one more time. Let's show your energy, wave your flags again, please. Show the energy you have. And it's amazing to see so many chapters here. We have 62 chapters, and of course, you will all be able to connect with them throughout the week, and several more will be launching soon. And you'll also be part of the Youth Assembly consultations and dialogues, where youth will be finalizing policy papers and statements to bring into intergovernmental processes, because what we're really trying to do here is to support meaningful youth engagement. We don't want anymore to see tokenistic youth, just putting youth on a panel, but actually meaningfully engaging them. And you also get the chance to meet the brilliant young innovators showcasing their solutions on a global stage, and educators sharing how learning and mentorship can really spark leadership. And of course, you'll experience the power of culture throughout the entire week through art, food, storytelling that will be woven throughout the entire agenda of this week. And we'll also, as I mentioned before, be launching a lot of chapters, so be ready to attend these events and to engage with youth. But none of this would have been possible without the incredible team that is leading these programs. So I'd like to invite them on stage just to recognize the amazing work that they're doing, starting from Celeste McElwain, the leader of our Youth Innovation Lab, Takshama Pandit, the lead of our Youth Assembly, Ushin Gill, leading our Youth Education Program, Flora Eagle, leading our Youth Culture Program, and Sabine Lamichane, who is leading the expansion of our national chapters at the local level. You'll be able to connect with them throughout the week. They will be leading sessions, hosting dialogues, and engaging with all of you. So I invite everyone in this audience to really connect with youth, listen to youth, and work alongside youth to ensure that this forum really remains as intergenerational as possible. So let's keep the momentum going, and let's try to work hand in hand for better foods and a better future. So I wish you all a very productive week ahead, and thank you again.